Hey Wunda fam, today we're going to use a resistance band. If you want to come down onto your mat and bring the band up above your knees, around your thighs, we're going to get started with some bridges. So lay all the way down on your back with your band. We're going to have our feet in a closed parallel position, but the knees are going to be open in a diamond to start with. Arms are long at our sides and active. In one hinge movement, we're going to lengthen the body up and into that bridge position. Your glutes are holding the pelvis up. The soles of the feet are melting into the floor. Don't just dump out into those outer heels. Get the big toe, second toe down onto the floor. Arms are active. From here, we're going to add resistance to the band by fanning open the right leg only. Hold the left leg stable. So we're spiraling that right inner thigh into the band and then bringing it back to start. Pelvis stays quiet. Now the left side, we're going to open out to the left. All right, now that we've got the hang of what that movement is, we're going to do 4 to the right. Here we go. 4. And then bring it back to start. This is 3. We're still on the right side. We are spiraling that right inner thigh into the band for 2. This will be the last one on the right for the sequence of 4. Bring it back to start. Recommit to the pelvis being raised by the glutes. Here, let's go on the left. Spiral the left outbound and bring it back. We're going to go for 3. Think about that inner thigh rolling into the band. Think about that femur bone spinning through the dome of the pelvis. This is 2, keeping the hips level. And this is 1. Don't go anywhere. We have our legs back at start. Now we're going to go 3 times out to the right side. Here's 3. Left leg is holding steady. Arms are active. This is 2. Navel is up and in, even in this inverted position. Last one on the right. Bring it back to the start position. Recommit to big toe, second toe in the mat. Left side, here we go, 3. Right side is stabilizing. This is 2, reaching your knees long from the shoulders. This is 1. I bet you know what's coming next. Now go back to start. Right side, 2 times. Spiraling the right inner thigh into the band. 2. We're there already. It's 1. Bring the right leg back to start. Left side, outbound. 2. Reaching those knees really long, lifting the pelvis with the glutes. This is 1. And now we're going to alternate sides. Single on the right, bring it in. Sweeping out the left, bring it in. So we're holding the diamond, alternating from the right to the left, really building up heat through the glute med. You want to feel that all the way to the waistline. So really find that diagonal all the way to the waistline as we swivel outbound at your own pace, alternating sides. Let's do 1 more to the right. We're going to do 1 more to the left. Bring it back to center, and with control, hinge your body down in a flat back position. Tailbone melts all the way down to the floor. All right, we're going to stay laying down on the mat, but we are going to take the band around the arch of the left foot, leaving it on the right thigh. So we have left arch and right thigh. You're going to come into a tabletop position with the legs. You should feel resistance on that band already, and the fingertips interlace behind the base of the skull. From here, we're going to hold that right leg steady, and now we're going to work in that middle range for the left side. We're never going to fully extend it, but we're going to inhale as it extends and exhale as it bends in. So the right leg doesn't move. We are simply moving through that left hip. Inhale to extend, exhale to bend. We're holding the head, neck, and shoulders up in an abdominal curl, and we're really working isometrically through that right leg as we mobilize and tone the hip on the left leg. My feet are flexed, heels are reaching long. Crown of the head is reaching long away from the tailbone. Inhale as you reach, exhale as you bring it in. Let's go for 3 more here. Finding that femur head tipping in and out of the pelvis. This is 2. We're going to slide the band up above our thighs again. This is our last one here. And bring the feet down towards the mat. We're going to slide that band up above the knees again. From here, we are going to take the forearms onto the mat, and we're going to keep our knees bent. So we're in kind of a modified teaser position here because we're going to float the knees up, and the feet are level with the knees ideally. From here, we are going to inhale as we extend the legs long, and then we're going to lower into a half around the world. Bring it through the center, knees bend. This is an exhale here. Inhale, legs extend, going to the other side, lowering down and around to the side, and bring it in through the center. Exhaling here. Keep working on your end. We're going to inhale as we take the legs long. Exhale as we draw the knees in. We're inhaling as we sweep around into that around the world position, rotating to the side. As we go down and around, sweeping long through the legs. Try to keep tension on that band the whole time. Exhale as we fold the legs in. Inhale, extending up, and then we tip to the side. I'm going to have Jessie show us a modification on this next one where the knees stay bent. So we can just take an inhale breath and then exhale as we roll around. And this is going to be gentler on the low back. This is going to be a modifier for the low back. And we're going to tip to the other side and bring it back through center. So if that's not feeling great on your body today, you can skip through and not do that long extension with the legs. Do what works for your body. Finding the inner thighs still spiraling outbound into that band and finding tension and resistance, working the inner and outer thighs together as we connect to the abdominals. Last time to the right, sweeping through the femur heads are rolling through the domes of the pelvis. And last time to the left, rolling through with intention, bring it all the way in, and then we are going to lay down and we're going to have that band on the left thigh and the right arch. So we're going to do what we just did on the other side, keeping the band on the left thigh and moving it to the arch of the right foot. We're going to go into a tabletop position, holding an abdominal curl. Feet are in line with one another to start. And here we go. We're going to inhale as we lengthen, feet are flexed. Exhale, bring it back in. So again, guys, we're not going for a full straight leg here. We are reaching, working in that middle range. It's that really shaky place. I'm shaking like crazy too. So that's that mid-range of movement, really activating all the way from the inner thigh across to the opposite waistline, working really hard to stabilize with that left leg as we extend and bend the right side. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you bend. Keep working on your end, making sure that before we move that right foot, we're actually finding as if we're up against a brick wall, and we want to find that intention, find that shake, and then extend through the band. Let's go for one more just like that. These look beautiful. Keep it up. And we're going to go and bring the feet down, and we're going to come into a lunge sequence. So we are going to bring the band off of our legs and rise onto our feet. Slide your hands inside the band, fingertips forward and palms facing in. Feet are 4 inches apart, parallel. Take a nice generous step back with your left leg, right leg stays forward. And we're going to do a side kick at the top. So it's going to look like this. We're going to exhale as we lower down into that lunge. Both knees bend, torso stays upright. Inhale as you come up, and we're going to slide the left leg out to the side as the arms open. Bring it back through center and go into that lunge. Exhale down, inhale as you bring it up, and slide the leg outbound. The arms are just going to open a little bit, activating through the middle back, through the shoulders and the arms. Inhale as you lift, and open out to the side. Exhale as you lower down. See if you can shift your weight as small as possible to the side when we do that little reach out to the left. We don't want to dump into that standing right hip, and that's how we're going to find that connection to the core and find that inner thigh connection as we stand. So we exhale as we lower down, swiveling the arms open at the top as we go into that side kick and bring it all the way back down on an exhale. Inhale as you float up. 2 more like this. Exhale on the way down, keeping tension on that band the whole time, and we're just intentioning even further outbound at the top. This is going to be our last one. Inhale as you come up and bring the leg all the way down. All right, we're going to do a knee pendulum, and we're going to take that band and bring it underneath the left foot. Left hand is also on the band. We're going to hold a forward fold position with a flat back, and we're going to bend the right knee. From here, we're going to go into a pendulum on the right side, creasing at the outer hip, and bring it back in. We can layer on by adding that bicep curl as we send the leg outbound and bring it back in. So the bicep curls on the left as the leg goes out and bring it back in. Additional challenge, you can take the right arm out, creasing at the hip every time we bring the leg out to the side. It's not about sending the knee high. It's about allowing the femur to deeply sink into the pelvis as we work. Navel is up and in the whole time. Last 3. keep that leg parallel rather than allowing it to go into turnout. Bicep curl as we bring it outbound. And this is going to be our last one, bicep curl as we come out. Bring the leg down and both feet come to the floor. We're going to come all the way up and go into a right lunge with a tricep extension on the left arm. So step to the top of your mat, feet are 4 inches apart parallel. We're going to take a nice step back with the left leg, and we're going to bow forward as we hold the right knee in its bend. Before we get started, let's peel that right heel up and off of the floor, and we're going to hold that heel raised position. Keeping your torso steady and tipped forward, reach your right hip back. And now we're going to inhale, left arm reaches long behind us, going into that tricep extension. Exhale as we bring it back to start. Inhale, really think about lengthening the biceps as the arm goes long. And as we exhale, think about lengthening through the triceps. Keep working on your end. We're inhaling as we reach long, finding a nice stable pelvis. It's really hard up there on that pelvis or on the ball of that foot. And as we reach back, I want you to think about that elbow absorbing upbound into the triceps, lengthening the tailbone from the crown of the head. See if you can get a little bit lower in that lunge, challenging your body here, keeping that big toe, second toe connected to the floor, and the left leg nice and long. Last little tip here, see if you can reach the left heel a little bit closer to the floor, and that's really going to fire up the backside of that left leg while we're working. Last one, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, right foot down. Go ahead and come on up out of that exercise. Beautiful. Let's lay down on our back. That band is going to go around our ankles, and we're going to go into some bus drivers. So we're going to take the band around our ankles nice and wide and lay all the way down onto your back. From here, head, neck, and shoulders are going to be supported by hands interlaced underneath the base of your skull. Find a nice abdominal curl. We're going to float the legs up into a tabletop position. Find tension on that band the whole time. And we're going to lengthen the legs all the way out and give it a rotation, dipping them to the right. Bring it back. Exhale through center. Inhale as we lengthen and dip to the left. Exhale through center and bring the knees in. Keep alternating at your own pace, lengthening the legs, rotating the femurs to swivel, and bring it back in. Find that inhale for the length as you swivel and back in through center. Keep working on your end. If this feels aggressive to your body, you can keep a knee bend rather than going into a full extension and still do that swivel. It's just going to be a smaller range of movement, and that will feel less aggressive on the low back. As you're working, pay attention to the low back and make sure we're supporting it and conditioning the core by keeping length off of the mat rather than mashing down into it. We want to find that length and that reach, stabilizing the spine the whole time. Let's go for 2 more here. Inhaling as we reach, think about those femur heads swimming in the domes of the pelvis. Bring it back in through center. Again, we're moving from the top of the thigh bones to swivel the other direction. Bring it back through center, bend the knees, and allow the feet to lower towards the floor. We're going to keep the band on our ankles and go into a plank with a little side step. So keep that band at the ankles, hands come wide at the top of your mat, shoulder width distance, and lengthen into your best plank here. Holding steady with starfish hands, we're going to start with the left leg stepping out to the side. So on an inhale, we're going to step the left foot off the mat and bring it back in. And then we're going to step the right foot off the mat and bring it back in. So we're just alternating sides again, sinking in the top of that femur head and bringing it back through center, and then right side and bring it back through center. As we're working, we want to make sure we're finding that connection through the middle back. So we want to lift the heart in between the shoulder blades. Jesse's doing a beautiful job demonstrating that strength and connection to the middle back. If you find that you have sensitive wrists, there's probably a very good chance that you're winging the shoulder blades. And I'm not even going to have her demonstrate, but it would be a collapsing sensation where you're hanging in those shoulder joints and loading the wrists. Think about lifting off of the wrist, broadening the collarbones, sending your heart between the shoulder blades. Gorgeous job. Lengthening as we reach. Let's do 1 more on each side. So we're tipping in the femur bone, creasing at the hip to bring it back to center. And on the other side, bring it back to start and allow both knees to float down to the floor. All right, keeping that loop where it is, we are going to lay on our tummy for our grasshoppers. So lay all the way down onto your belly on the mat. This does not give you permission to relax your abdominals. We're going to have our head onto our hands stacked below our forehead. You should feel your navel drawing up and off of the mat rather than resting and collapsing into it. You want to find that link with a heavy pubic bone. We're going to bend the knees so that the feet go up towards the sky. You should feel resistance on that band. And then what we're going to do is a small lift and reach, then bring it back down. It is not a huge range of movement. Keep working at your own pace. As we're working, I want you to think about those knees coming long away from your pelvis rather than thinking about the feet going high. If you think about the feet going high, you're going to dump into the low back, and that's not what we want. We want to think about knees reaching long. We want to think about navel drawing up and in. Who knew you could do ab work laying flat on the floor? I promise you, you can. Find that connection, find that deep abdominal connection, stabilizing the spine. You can see that Jessie's keeping her low back nice and long and her pelvis very quiet, reaching the tailbone long from the crown of the head, reaching the knees long away from the pelvis. That's where the intention is. So good, Jessie. Keep it up. 2 more just like this, really firing up from that glam line to lengthen and reach. Good. This is going to be our last one. And we're going to go into our lunge, standing up and release. Beautiful work. We're going to rise up and take the loop off of your legs. We're going to slide our hands inside of the loop and go into our standing lunge with the left leg forward. So we'll start with our feet 4 inches apart, parallel. We're going to take a nice step back with the right leg, palms face in, exhale, and we're going to bend both knees down. As we rise up, we're going to float the right leg off to the side as the arms swivel open, and then we're going to sweep through center and lower back into that lunge. Exhale down and inhale as we rise up, floating the leg out to the side and bring it back down. So it doesn't have to be a great big high kick, guys. That's not the point. The idea is to really reach and extend with length, and then exhale as you scissor the upper inner thighs and lower into that lunge. Find that intention, find that length and that focus as you strengthen and tone the body. Inhaling to rise, creasing at the hip, keeping the leg as parallel as you can, keeping the arms and the middle back and the shoulders engaged the whole time. So we don't want to let any slack go on that band if we can avoid it. Inhale as you come up, lengthening and reaching. Let's go for 2 more here. We're going to go into that knee pendulum with the left leg bent next. Exhaling down, last one. Inhale, come up, swivel through the arms, and bring it back down. Both feet come to the mat. All right, we're going to take that band under the arch of the right foot. We're going to do a bicep curl with the right arm while the left leg goes into that pendulum. All right, so we have a flat back. We are tipped forward. We're going to bend both knees a little bit. And then we're going to float the left leg back. Here we go. Glue your eyes to something to assist you with your balance. And we're going to sweep the left leg out as we do a bicep curl and bring it back down to start. Bicep curl as we crease at the left hip and bring it back down to start. So really think about that diagonal sling. So we're working through that left hip and the right shoulder. Those are stabilizing the spine and deeply engaging the core. We're creasing out in a parallel orientation rather than swinging into an external rotation. So that means we're not swiveling that inner thigh forward as we work. So we're finding that crease at the outside of the hip, reaching the knee long as the femur sinks deeply into the pelvis. Let's go for 1 more here. Inhaling to do that. Exhale as we bring it in, and go ahead and lower the leg down, and we are going to take that loop off of the foot. Good. All right, let's go into that lunge with the tricep hold on the other side. So we're going to step our feet to the top of the mat, 4 inches apart, parallel, palms facing in. Take a nice step back with the right leg. We're going to bow forward as we bend the left knee. Hold here. First thing we do, we're going to pick up that left heel off of the floor and reach the left hip back away from the shoulder, the right shoulder. On the inhale, right arm extends into that tricep extension. Exhale as we bring it in. Head is in line with the spine, so you should be looking down at the floor in front of you rather than up at the wall in front of you. Exhale as we bring the arm in. Inhale, lengthening through those biceps. Exhale, reach the elbow away from the shoulder, lengthening through the triceps. Think about really lowering into that lunge. Think about the ribs softening around the spine and the right heel melting towards the floor to really activate the inner thigh of the right leg and through the back line of the right leg. Inhaling as we extend, sinking the left thigh bone deep into the pelvis. Exhale as you bend. Let's go for 3 more here, finding that full extension, really absorbing the elbow all the way up into the triceps. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale for 2. Exhale, we're going to bring it in. And last one, allow the arm to bend, heel goes down, slowly rise all the way up. We're going to keep that band in our hands and go into a supine roll down. And we're going to do a little leg lift as we hold pretty low to the ground. So go ahead and come into a turned out position, heels touching, toes turned out. Arms are long in front of you and that loop is at your wrists. We're going to lean with a flat back, melt the tailbone under you, melt the low back, melt the middle back, and stop with your shoulder blades up and off of the mat. As we bring the arms overhead, we're going to float the left leg up just a little bit, and then we're going to bring it back down. That's an exhale. And inhale the upper inner thigh, talking to the left waistline as we bring that right leg up. So we have tension on the band, but we don't need to stretch it outbound. We're just finding that tension, that connection through the middle back. Inhaling as we lift, and exhaling as we lower. While we're working, guys, I want to help you find a little release of tension through the neck while you're holding that position. You can really think about a beach towel being under your head, dragging you back. Soften the nod of your chin rather than arcing and gazing straight up to the ceiling, and that's going to help you find the connection of the neck muscles all the way down through the front side of the body. Let's reach with intention. Good. Melt the shoulder blades down the back line of the body. This is the last time for the right leg. Gorgeous. Bring it all the way down and head goes down onto the mat. Nice work. All right. We're going to sit up, staying with the band on our wrists, and we're going to go into a seated row. So now we're going to stay with a flat back rather than rounding. Palms face in again. We're going to lean with a flat back like so. We're going to melt the shoulder blades down. Then the elbows are going to chase the collarbones nice and wide. That's an exhale. Inhale as we bring the arms forward. Exhale, shoulder blades melt down and around, and then the elbows go wide. So as we're doing that work, we want to make sure we're finding that middle back connection, thinking about the shoulder blades moving before the arms do. So we don't want just to send the elbows outbound. Shoulder blades melt down first, then the elbows draw back. Inhale as we reach long, keeping the collarbones wide. Shoulder blades melt down, and then that engages the middle back rather than just the top parts of the shoulders. Slowly reaching back on that exhale. Inhale as we bring it forward. Last one here. Gorgeous job. Inhale, arms come forward and go ahead and sit all the way up. Beautiful. We're going to keep that band and go into a standing saw with it. So we're going to come onto our feet again. This time the loop goes under the ball of the left foot, and we're going to have it in our right hand. So we're in a forward fold position. Try not to dump in the back side of the knees. We want to keep some breath there. Left arm goes outbound. And from here, guys, we're going to rotate the ribs. So make sure your feet are turned out and we're rotating the ribs to the left. Here we go. We're going to exhale as we draw that right arm back, and inhale as we bring it long. Head is in line with the spine. So you want to have a long back side of the neck, broad collarbones. Inhaling as we draw the elbow back. Exhaling as we allow it to go forward. So we're finding a nice stretch as we're sculpting and toning through the core of the legs and the arms and shoulders. Exhaling to bring the arm forward. Inhaling, inflating the middle back with breath. Last two. With control, this is our last one. And allow that loop to come out from under the foot. We're going to rise onto our feet all the way. Hands go inside that band one more time. And we're going to bring our feet into a wide turned out position again. Arms come up and overhead, but make sure we still have broad collarbones. we're going to go into a forward fold with rotations. So we're going to inhale as we lengthen the body forward. Exhale, rotate the ribs to the right. Inhaling through the center. Exhale, rotate to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, come back up to standing. Again, we're going to inhale as we fold forward, creasing deeply at the hips. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhaling to the left. Back through center with an inhale. Exhale, returning upright. Keep working on your end. We're inhaling as we lengthen and lower, really feeling the sitting bones broad on the way down and rotating from the ribs. So we want to make sure we're not just rotating through the arms. We want to feel the rib basket rotate, and then we're going to exhale as we come all the way back up to standing. Inhale, reaching for that length. Use that breath to reach the tailbone from the crown of the head. Exhale, narrowing around the waistline, drawing the ribs close to the spine. Beautiful. Bring it back through center. Exhale. We're going to go for one more set. We're going to inhale forward. Really feel that beautiful stretch through the back line of the body. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Good, Jesse. Exhale to this side. Inhale through center. Exhale. Come all the way up. And let's take care of that standing saw on the other direction. So we're going to come into a wide turned out position again. This time the band goes under the arch of the right foot. And we're going to take the left hand onto that loop. Right arm reaches long out to the side. We're going to rotate the ribs, really stretching as we tone. Exhale, elbow bends. And we're holding that rotation the whole time. Inhale, arm goes long. Exhale as the elbow bends. Inhale, bring it long. As we're working here, we want to make sure we're not locking out into the backside of the knees. So we want to feel that stretch on the backside of the body, but not just dump into the backside of that joint. We want to keep breath there and keep it active. Really reaching that right arm long and melting the left shoulder blade down in order to move the arm and the loop. Let's go for two more here. Find more breath on that inhale, lengthening tailbone from the crown of the head. Equal weight across the soles of the feet. And allow the loop to release and unwind, come all the way up. We have made it. We are going to go onto our back and it's time to stretch. We're going to lay on our back and go into half of a happy baby with the band around the right foot, because we're going to go into an extension and use it kind of like a loop if you were on a WundaFormer. So we're going to bring the left leg long and the right hand is going to hold onto the loop and just kind of help us sink into that deep stretch. I have my elbow on the floor. And I'm just allowing the foot to glide up towards the ceiling, the sole of the foot, and opening through the front side of the left hip. On the next inhale, you can allow that right leg to elongate. You'll feel that loop support you. Just hold and breathe here. Think about that inner thigh spiraling up to the sky. And go ahead and soften that right knee in. We're going to bring both feet inside of the loop. Now 2 hands on the loop and send the legs up towards the sky. Soft bend to the elbows. And we're just going to hold here and breathe, sending the toes towards your nose and the heels away from your hips. Nice deep breath here. And allow both knees to bend. We're going to slide the right leg out, allow that foot to extend forward. So now the right leg is long, and we're going to bring the left elbow down and the sole of the left foot up towards the sky into that half happy baby on the left side. When you're ready, we're going to extend that left leg long, allowing the loop to help support the leg in that stretch. Spiral the inner thigh up towards your shoulder. Allow the leg to bend. Go ahead and remove that loop, roll to your side, and come on up. Another amazing workout together, Wunda Babes. We'll see you on the mat.